Okay, let me finish up the message that my husband sent to his brother after finding out that his brother took our photographer out of our wedding to do personal photos of his family and then blew up at us because I talked about it on TikTok that he did it. So to continue what my husband Steven sent his brother D, you have gone out of your way over and over again to make us feel unwelcomed and excluded. Even at Dad's last birthday dinner, you and Essie and your son all start harping on me about not being around while canceling on us anytime we have made plans and not lifting a finger to accommodate what my life looks like now. Even during the holidays of 2023, we expected you would want to host Thanksgiving again, but you left town without bothering to let us know anything. And then for Christmas, you just said, this is the day that works for us, without giving any regard to what works for my new family. Did we get any kind of offer to make Christmas cookies after you relocated it to your place and never told us? No, we did not. This is exactly why we feel excluded and unimportant. You both treat every event like your needs are the most important, but it's not all about you, Dee. I finally have somebody in my life, a permanent fixture, who makes me so damn happy, but you don't seem to care. She's your sister-in-law now, and our kids are your new nieces and nephews, but you don't seem to want to treat them as family. You probably don't know that we found out we were pregnant the day before your wedding, but we knew we had to keep all of that in and to ourselves as to not compete with your big day. We even gave up holiday time with the kids to be at your wedding extra early because you needed us to stick 2 signs in the ground, both of which were in your vehicle, and either one of your sons could have easily handled that job on their own. And just to tell you how entitled and spoiled they are, they decided to get married on Easter Sunday of 2023. So yeah, it was one of my custody holidays with my kids that year, and I had to give it up to go be at an adult wedding. But then you have the nerve to take our photographer out of our reception because you can't be bothered to go to a studio, or perhaps wait until after the reception. The garden would still be open while we're doing teardown. Let's also not forget, since when is the bride supposed to track down the guests at the wedding? We are trying to stay in one spot and meet with anyone who wants to come up. You guys dodged and hid most of the time. And frankly, with how Essie has acted over the last year and a half, why would Migs want to reach out just to get emotionally slapped again at her own wedding? Maybe Essie's the one avoiding McGann because she's well aware of how she's been treating McGann. And it's not even just that. You were literally sitting across from your new nephew and had a chance to engage with him, but you both got up and bailed almost immediately. But you want me to be concerned about your kids and them being in town or having issues when my kids don't seem to matter to you at all, and you never talk to me to keep me in the loop? Fine, we get that your autistic son was having a meltdown during photos. This is the first we've heard of it from anybody. We knew he would probably be uncomfortable at an event like this, which is why we said that it was fine if he didn't want to come. But of course, we want the whole family to be at an event like this, right? Now, this is exactly the kind of thing we mean when we talk about making accommodations for our autistic son. Especially because he's 13 years younger than your son, Dee. And wait, did you not come out for photos because you didn't know about them or because your son was having a fit? You've said both now. This situation, our situation as it is right now, is untenable. I know I'm not perfect, and I can admit that. I've apologized so often that it feels like reflex now, but I'm not apologizing just to keep the peace anymore. I can't be always available Steven or people pleaser Steven anymore. I can admit that I've been steering away from uncomfortable conversations and I've not been actively engaging with either of you, but I need you and Essie to do some real introspection and accept your due of responsibility for where we found ourselves. You are my brother and I love you and I always will, but I can't keep going like this. I'm done. You may not like that Migs put this out on her channel, but it all came from somewhere. And your reaction makes me feel like you're more interested in being angry than fixing our problems. I'm taking a break. Migs and I need a break from all of this, from the anxiety, the stress, the animosity, the drama, the pettiness of it all. When you're ready to accept some real accountability for what's happened, get in touch with us through Mom and Dad. Until then, I'm putting you both on block because I don't have room for the stress that this behavior is putting in my life. And let me just say, my poor husband has been conditioned and gaslit by his mother and brother to always back down, to never challenge Dee, to just let bygones be bygones no matter what Dee does to him. And my husband describes his brother as an abuser. Like, I was shocked after a few dates when he's like, oh yeah, I had an extremely abusive childhood. And I'm like, oh no, your parents? Is like, no, not my parents. D, my brother. So I don't know if this is going to be a loss for him in a greater sense, but I know the day-to-day situation was, as he put it, untenable. And even the one time we have all gotten together in the last year and a half-ish, which was at Buca de Beppo, which I talked about in another video, again, Essie didn't want to speak to anybody, and D did not seem to want me at the table. So why are we all getting together if nobody gets along and it's just to play pretend? It doesn't make sense to me. I don't get it, and I'm not going to participate in it. So we'll see how this goes.